The woman really wants you to be ambitious. She gets turned on and she gets so zoned in on you when you're highly ambitious. You're crushing the gym, you're working on your goals. And if she says, "Baby, you work too hard, take it easy, don't worry, we have enough money, that's fine. I don't care about getting another Lamborghini." If you listen to her, she'll lose attraction, respect for you. When you have a lot of options, freedom and possibility, it definitely like makes it harder to like, want to date one person.
For me, it's very difficult to want to settle down to a traditional monogamous relationship, even when I meet someone incredible, because it's one of these situations where I'm going to go to work and I'm going to be with like 200 girls. Are you okay with that? And the girl's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. And then guess what, Greg? They're not okay with that. Something goes wrong. It ends up being.
Yeah, 100%. They can act so chill in the very beginning for the first, maybe month or two, but then, you start to realize actually like, even if they pretend to be chill, like it does affect them. And so that's definitely tough. If you're around a lot of women, you're living this also, like I'm living this lifestyle where like, my priority is my business
Yeah.
and my brand. And part of that requires getting attention and doing X, Y, and Z. It's good to have a partner that completely understands that, that's on board with that. But that's easier said than done. I've been in that position a few times.
The only solution that it's even a pseudo solution that I found is I date women who date women. And that tends to like, now I have the opposite effect. Now they're super excited to come to the bikini competition with me or Paradise Challenge or whatever. That's the only thing that I found that work. And I live in a place, Las Vegas, where there's a ton of women that are like a ton of women here that are like that. So it just, that part has made it a little easier for me so I can be like completely and totally honest. Because I don't care what a woman tells you. A heterosexual woman, if you have been with a lot of very beautiful women, if she asks you, have you been with her? You're going to say yes, and she's going to say she's fine with it. She's not fucking fine with it. I don't care what she says. If you're dealing with a woman who's like really attracted to women and you say yes, she's like, that's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's the only like pseudo solution that I found to this issue, is to do something like that where you have like this thing, this extra component that's in common, right? Otherwise, traditional monogamy is very difficult in a place like, I mean, obviously you're 3 orders of magnitude more famous than I am, but like for someone like us, it's a very difficult thing to do. Yeah, that is the problem, right? It's like sometimes I get this vibe whenever I go back home for Thanksgiving or Christmas that like it is a function of my immaturity or that I'm a bad guy because I haven't chosen to settle down. And I'm like, I don't understand that at all. Or like this belief that, well, I'm going to turn 50 and be alone and therefore I'm going to feel lonely. I have friends of mine who are 60 and they're not lonely.
This is like a different like question and topic if you're talking to men of very high status that have a ton of options.
Yes.
It's like this is kind of like a conversation that definitely comes up in those realms. It is definitely something hard to wrap your head around of like, I'm just going to be with XYZ with this one person for the next, forget about 20 years, just even like 5 years,
Yeah.
Definitely something that's very hard to wrap the head around.
Yeah, I just found like ultimate honesty up front, and then you kind of can filter out what's going to work and what's not going to work, and that's been definitely the biggest game changer for me. Because, Greg, here's the craziest thing, right? You'll go up to a girl and you just straight up be like, "Hey, listen, I just want to let you know traditional monogamy is not what I'm looking for right now. I think you're amazing," and then you expect them to just get up and walk away, and they just don't. And here's the other thing: you said something else, bro. You said you are more focused on your business. And the thing is, to a lot of men, they're like, oh, he's more focused on his business. He's going to have trouble with women, not realizing, no, it's the opposite. You are more focused on your business. You're not more focused on this gorgeous woman who just came into your life. And therefore, she is starving for your attention, validation, whatever. And that's another thing I found is like the more I just focus on my business, the more women want to come into my life because they can see a path or purpose that I have, and which goes back to evolution, access to scarce resources, or men who have the probability to gain resources. Those are the ones that are the most attractive. So here you've built a business basically where you're showing success, and on top of that, a physique that is masculine with the V-shaped torso and all this kind of stuff. And then as a result of building that business, you become more attractive to a certain type of woman or most women. And then in this type of situation, you're not even trying to do it for that purpose. And yet that's exactly what ends up working out for you. And now you have more options because of it. And now it becomes more confusing on whether or not you want monogamy.
Yeah. You know what? I think it's actually one of the most attractive things. The woman really wants you to be ambitious. She gets turned on and she gets so zoned in on you when you're highly ambitious. You're crushing the gym, you're working on your goals. And if she says, "Baby, you work too hard, take it easy, don't worry, we have enough money, that's fine. I don't care about getting another Lamborghini." If you listen to her, she'll lose attraction, respect for you. She wants you to go, like, absolutely be a good partner, like show up, X, Y, and Z. But she wants to feel like you are going out to conquer. Like, absolutely. Like, sometimes that's like what women will tell me. Like, one of the most attractive things I find about you is like your ambition. Like, it's hard to find men that are just highly ambitious. Even if your girl's telling you, "Hey, slow down. You worked hard in the gym. Take
Yeah.
a break. Take it easy. This and that." Don't. Keep going. Go hard. Spend time with your girl, but just have your eyes on the prize, because they do not want you to be that malleable person that like gives it. "Okay, yeah, we'll just watch a movie. I'll do this work later." They might think they want it for a moment, and then once you give in fully, they're losing attraction.
All right. So since we're going here, I'm going to say something a little bit controversial here. Okay. I want you to think about this, those of you who are watching this. So think about whoever your dream girl is. We'll use a friend of mine, Lindsay Palas, okay? Do you think that Lindsay Palas, or whoever, well, you could say Emily Sears, or whoever, Caitlin Runk, whoever, Kylie Myers, whatever. If you think, like, if you were dating one of these girls, or a girl of similar level of attractiveness, do you think that evolution would create a system in their brain where they're giving you the steps in order to make them sexually attracted to you? This may be confusing for some people to understand. If there was a set of steps that you could do to just sleep with this girl who's a perfect 10, then every guy would sleep with her. But those set of steps are not going to be apparent. So her giving you advice on how to sleep with her is it's counterintuitive. It doesn't fit along with evolution. So what's she going to do instead? Stay at home. Let's watch Netflix. Let's order a pizza. You're working too hard. And I personally believe, and again, this is the part that's going to be controversial, that women, from an evolutionary standpoint, some women have these internal programming to see whether or not you're going to crack, to see whether or not you are going to lose the ambition for her, to see whether or not you're going to throw it all away just to be with her. And again, I've said this before, and I've gotten in a lot of trouble for this, but I'll stand by it. Women tell men their advice when it comes to women: just be yourself. And I think they give that advice so they can tell who the beta males are quicker. That's my personal opinion. I know a lot of people don't like that idea, but I personally think that's what it is. It's very difficult. Women want to be able to sift through, this guy is an overachiever, alpha, this guy is a beta, and then if he pretends like he's an alpha, then it confuses me with his fake Patek watch and his rented Lambo. I don't know who's who, and so I'm confused. So I need to tell all of them to just be themselves, and that way I can quickly tell these are the alphas and these are the betas. Anyway, sorry. If you don't, go ahead and you can write me ugly messages in the comments if you disagree, but that's what I believe, and that's what evolution points to.
Yeah, like, there's some women that can be extremely like self-aware and logical and like, this is what I respond to, but most women, what they say they want, what they respond to, are two completely different things.
Isn't it incredible, bro? Like, how many girls that tell me that they're sapiosexual and they're dating like an illiterate male stripper? Like, bro, it's so crazy to me how frequently I see this.